Welcome to this edition of the Absolute Truth. I am your host, Glenn MacArthur. Today we are going to talk about the report, political report. As you well know, yesterday Mulder decided to finish up his report, his $60 million fudge note to the people of this country that he found absolutely no collusion in the Russian affair. Well, let me just say this: I am going to be impartial. I'm going to be independent, and I'm going to tell it like it is. Whether how the cards fall is strictly political, and I don't care. First of all, as a taxpayer, I am really peed off that the Democrats and the Republicans can't get their act together. I am teed off that we still have unanswered problems. We've got a major problem on the border. We're being invaded, not with an army and not with guns, but by babies. The last time this happened, I believe it was about 100 years ago. Panchovia, you remember what happened then? We sent Blackjack Pershing down to Juarez and down to Veracruz to find this bozo who killed 25 people, stole guns from the army, and then had the nerve to start an insurrection south of our border. Yeah, we're kind of peeled off with that. But now, half the country doesn't care. Well, I got a little news for you. Wait till you get your freaking tax bill from your local states. They're going to love the hell out of you. Now, okay, let's just get this straight once and for all. The whole thing of it was the only collusion that is evident here was the collusion of Hillary Clinton and the Russians in the Uranium One buyout. And she wasn't even a legal citizen in those days. She was a member of the government, which means, hello, she screwed up huge. Government members, look, if Donald Trump can run his hotel in downtown Washington, D.C., why in the hell should she be able to make $1 billion sitting in that chair, losing classified emails and making a complete ass for herself in places like Libya? All I have to say is this. I want both sides to listen very clearly. You remember World War I? We had a president who was a Democrat, okay? Half the country did not want to go to war. The other half of the country did want to go to war. They call it the Kaiser's War. Now, because of the Lusitania and all those people killed, like 9/11, we had to go to war. But to keep the riots, the civil discourse down, and to get things done, Woodrow Wilson, and I reiterate, was a Democrat, created an act of Congress. And that act doesn't go away. Not like a law. It doesn't have a timeline. It doesn't go away. And it was called the Sedition Act. Anybody who got in the way of the government, who impeded the government's actions, who was seen to be a co-conspirator in a scheme to impede or overthrow the government, that was called sedition, tantamount to treason. Something I'm sure you all remember. The last time that this Sedition Act was used was during the Vietnam War, when when an independent or a Democrat or a Republican, I don't know which, decided to steal papers from the Pentagon to get the papers to the newspapers so they could tell the truth. And we all saw how that went. Well, we never heard from him again, but I guarantee you, he's sitting over there in his old age somewhere in Leavenworth, Aldridge, whatever his name is. And then, there's the Rosenbergs who stole nuclear secrets during the war, World War II. They got kicked out. And then there was other implications during the Roosevelt and the Woodrow Wilson days. I'm trying to explain to you idiot Democrats that you are tap dancing on wet dynamite. And it's going to blow up, and it's going to take half the country with it. So my advice is leave while you still can. Or you and your friends can find yourself at Gitmo. You remember the MacArthur hearings? I guarantee you, it's gonna start building up to that. So who wants to go to jail? That's the ticket here, and I guarantee you there is proof of it. Now, getting back to this whole situation, uh, this is going to be this is going to be a disaster of monumental proportions. It may even lead to a civil war, which I really don't want. I think that the those hot-headed liberals that are calling for the president to be impeached are going to find themselves in Gitmo. Not to mention several other people like Soros, who doesn't mind funding a coup, and other people like Waters, Maxine Waters, and that other guy, um, the black civil rights senator who keeps saying that he's not being heard or whatever, and then there's the others who keep Pelosi and Schumer. They keep screaming for some sort of impeachment of the president, or now they're not because they're afraid. They need to explain there is law, and this law is coming down on them real quick. And as a person who is a taxpayer of this country, I want a refund, and I imagine a lot of other people want a refund. And I think basically it should come out of the Democratic Party's pocket. And that's all I have to say. For Absolute Truth, Glenn MacArthur out.